What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. It is 7 p.m. at night. UPS just dropped off Bumblebee. I am completely exhausted. I just spent hours, more or less. My brother came over, my cop brother. I had him in my attic in my garage. So it's like in the ceiling. We climbed up boxes to get in there. And I already had about 15 boxes up there. And we put about 50 more. So I was handing him all the boxes. Anything slightly smaller than this box that could fit through the opening of the attic. And it opened up a ton of box space. So I'm so excited for all this box space because I was like dangerously low. Like I only had space for maybe 2 more boxes. And now I have space for 50 more boxes because I got rid of 50. Although they were smaller ones. So let's say if it's big ones, have space for 30 to 40. Anyways, we got Bumblebee in the house. So this is my second Bumblebee statue I'll now own. This is the Bumblebee movie version. So it's a little bit more like G1-ish look, you know, mixed with the movie. I was a big fan of this movie. I loved it with John Cena and what's her bucket, Haley. Love the movie though, fantastic. Always loved this statue, always wanted it, but it didn't really fit at the time. And now it does fit. So I'm excited to see how good this is, and how good this is will also determine if I consider getting Blitzwing. I would have to either move or sell off Drift if I wanted Blitzwing, but let's see how good this is. Now I'm not going to do a full unboxing, having you guys watch me set this up for a half hour. It takes too long, you know, because Transformers are a lot of pieces. So I'll be doing pretty much everything off camera, but let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so this is what I am greeted with. Now, I did decide to go with the regular version of this for a few reasons. One, it was about $300 cheaper. And then 2, I get it in 2 days versus a month plus. So I don't mind the wait, honestly, but it's the price difference. I don't think it's worth $300. Plus the EX is a sword, which I actually would have displayed 100% of the time. But I don't think it makes that big of a difference to justify $300. If it was only $100, I would have just paid the extra, but $300, quite a big difference. So we went to regular. So the base is pretty decently sized, actually, you know, looking at next to my foot. Then we got a bunch of parts. There's an instruction manual here. Alrighty, let's do it. Alrighty, so first thing we did was we took out the base. We inserted each leg into the torso, and then that into the base. The peg is massive for that leg. This is a little bit more dynamic than your typical Transformer, which I really do like. You know, having a more dynamic Bumblebee, not just a museum pose like the majority of them. But so far, it looks absolutely fantastic, and it definitely already has quite a good presence for a Bumblebee statue, you know, more than my Dark Side of the Moon version. Base looks fantastic. You know, got the Transformer Autobot logo, nice Transformer theme, and then a rock and road base. That looks good, really good. So there you go. Let's put a bunch of parts on now. And done. So here is the basic Bumblebee pose with the standard head. It does come with some switch outs. I have installed LR44 batteries into all the different light ups. You have a light up in the chest, the eyes, the gun, and the extra battle masked head. So let's go ahead and check them out. So again, here is the base with the Autobot logo. This Autobot logo is a lot smaller than your typical Transformer Autobot logos. Those ones are usually like much bigger. This one's just very subtle. Looks good. I do like this sub base. I think it complements the piece quite well. Then you have him standing on this giant piece of cement that has rebar poking out on both sides. It looks really good. The road looks fantastic, along with this tire from a car. Looks really, really well done. I do like this action pose. It does look quite good. You know, giving B a sense of dynamicness, which I really like. He has some battle like damage, wear, tear, if you want to call it. You know, like here at the feet, you can see this like black stuff. See some right there, and just basically all throughout the entire statue, he does have that sort of like battle damaged look, just very subtle, not, you know, like he's maybe been in a few scuffs. There is an actual battle damaged Bumblebee statue out there. However, that one I feel is too battle damaged, and I didn't really like the look of it. I just like a little bit. You know, when it's too much, when it's excessive, not the biggest fan. So here is the light up in chest. You basically press this button and it lights up. It's white, looks pretty darn cool. And then there's a light up in Bumblebee's head, which, yep, there you go. So there is the actual light ups. It does look really good. I like the light ups in the Transformers because it really brings the piece alive. I would love to just have the lights on always. Oh my gosh, that'd be so cool. If only we could get that technology of never-ending light. If we could, then I would never turn off the lights on statues because it, you know, just looks so cool with it on. So it definitely brings it alive. Very cool. And I like the fact I don't have to remove the piece to turn it on. I hate when studios do that. Queen. But yeah, this does look really, really freaking good. I do like the light up. You know, you just press this button and everything is LR44, which is nice. So there you go. So here's Bumblebee's face. He definitely looks different than the other Bumblebee I own. You know, there's a pretty big difference between the two. And then here's the battle mask head, which I actually quite like because it has that like beehive look in the eyes, and I did not know that. Here's the button for light up. So check out his. I actually really like this battle mask's head. It makes him look like a bee, like a real bee, with those. You know, it's really cool. You know, so you look at the difference between the two. Just the mask comes down, which is really cool. You know, and there's just so many intricacies in Transformer statues. You know, you look at all the micro detail and, you know, lower growing area. You know, and this is a Beetle car, so that's why the design is like that for the front end. You know, you come here in the back, and he has the main car doors. Both look great. You know, it is like see-through. And then here is the back car doors, the smaller ones. So that looks great as well. And then the tires, which also look fantastic. The almost like rusted effect looks really well done. Really fantastic looking piece. Transformer statues are so effing cool. This one does not disappoint at all. Yeah, so normally if you got the exclusive, basically a sword can go right here that comes down. However, it is completely fine because I'm actually going to be displaying the gun for the most part, but I did want to see it like this before, you know, I put this part away. And I might actually do that battle mask because I really like that. But let's see how that looks now. Alrighty, and so there is all the light ups. So the gun light up is not super bright, as you can see. You know, you can see it, and it is a button right there. So all of them light up. Still pretty cool. And then there is the battle mask, which again does look fantastic. So, you know, on my other Bumblebee, I actually never have displayed the battle mask. I always have it on like the mini bust. And also you can like rotate these heads, so you can display it how you want. Now, if you want to display it like that, I think because he's shooting a gun, you want to have him angled towards the gun. It's, I mean, I guess he could be looking away if he's looking at the Haley girl. Yeah, that looks killer. I definitely like the battle mask look. I like both looks. So it always is great to have display options. Now, this gun definitely brings the depth out a ton, which is fine for me where I'm displaying it. At least I think it is. But the gun definitely looks really cool. His arm is massive and super detailed and very cool. I'm always a fan of them holding weapons. Now, pretty much never display my Transformers without their weapons. Outside of Drift currently, I like his pose, but who knows, I may switch him to the swords. But yeah, check that out. Super, super cool. Bumblebee. So after 6 years, I finally get another Bumblebee statue in the collection. This one is very different than my other one in every possible way. The design, I mean, the only way you know it's two Bumblebees really is, I mean, the faces a little bit, but the fact they're both yellow Autobots, you know, because they did drastically change his look. Let's go ahead and do a side-by-side next to my other Bumblebee, though. Alrighty, so here is a side-by-side of the two. You know, definitely much different yellows. This one's a little bit more like vibrant. You know, there are such different designs. Both are so incredibly cool, honestly. I really dig this new one I got. You tell me, which one do you like better? This one has more presence, but I would say this one is just more intricate due to the general design. You know, like when you look at that chest and you look at that chest, obviously this one's more intricate. So I'll really have to look at this one quite a bit to determine. You know, I do love the more dynamic pose. The base I do like quite a bit, but I'm a sucker for my OG as well. You know, and then like the battle mask, you compare the difference. Look at that battle mask versus that, and that other head is substantially bigger. So the overall Bumblebee does feel, bigger in general. Not like way bigger, but bigger. Maybe like 10%, 15%. A little bit thicker legs, thicker chest, thicker head. Arms, fists are a little bit bigger. But yeah, I'm definitely really, really liking this. Goodness, ugh. So he's going to go next to Drift. Let's see how it looks down there and return everything to how it should be. Alrighty, quick side-by-side of the two heads, unmasked. It's got quite a big design difference. I mean, it still looks like Bumblebee because the eyes and the mouth are generally kind of the same, but everything else is generally pretty different. But here is the Bumblebee next to Drift and Optimus. So he definitely has a good presence and looks really good. So kind of the idea, is I got above is the OG team, boom. And then, of course, Megatron, the main villain of Transformers 1. So it's more or less like a Transformers 1 display. And then underneath is where you go to more or less the next evolution of when Optimus changed his design, which is Transformers 4, the major villain Lockdown. Bumblebee's next major change was the Bumblebee movie, because all the other movies, it was a very subtle difference, like, very little difference. It still looked more or less the same. He definitely looks fantastic down low. He's not a piece that needs to be up high. I can see everything perfect. And I have him completely back against the wall due to that gun. It does stick out a tiny bit, but not enough that I'm going to bump into it by any means. You could also even angle it if you wanted to, but I think it's completely fine as is. So, yeah, let me go ahead and switch out the portrait now to the unmasked. Alrighty, and there is the unmasked portrait, which... it's really hard to decide which one I like more. Because, the unmasked matches the Blu-ray perfectly. Like, the exact same pose, literally. Look at that. Unmasked, fist, hand, gun. Exact same thing. So, for that reason alone, I really want to display the unmasked. But I really, really like that unmasked, the masked head as well. Mostly, honestly, due to the way they did, like, the beehive eyes. That is so cool. They've never done that, with any of the others. So I'll definitely regularly switch it out and make that very accessible. I probably will exclusively display the gun, because I just think it looks cooler than the fist. So I'll be displaying it like this, just changing the portrait probably monthly, because I really do like both heads. So yeah, there it is. Now, if I wanted to get Blitzwing, I'm very confident I could fit it right there, no problem. It is a little bit taller than Bumblebee. I think it's, 28 inches tall or something. It is also more expensive. It is in stock EX with Sideshow. This is in stock as well with Sideshow. The regular, the exclusive, is sold out. I will leave a link in the description below if you guys do want to purchase it. It does help the channel. But overall, I am very, very happy with this piece. It is extremely good. I love the dynamic, the detail, the paint up. Fantastic. By the way, I did get a Turtles little 3D printed thing there. I think that, you know, sort of finishes off that display because that was the one thing I think it needed. So I really like that look. But yeah, there is Prime 1 Bumblebee. So let me know what you guys think overall. For me personally, I would I mean, for $1,100, this is a 10 out of 10 piece. No doubt. You know, that is a killer deal. Retail, honestly, I can't even remember what it is, but I think the EX was $14.75 through Prime 1. The normal one through Sideshow is cheaper. It's like $1,300 or something like that, I believe, with shipping and tax. Still worth that, 100%. You know, this Bumblebee, when it went up for PO a long time ago, it was $1,200. Yeah, and it sold out quite quick. I got the exclusive very luckily. So it's the price difference is, it's basically the same price, and it's 6 years ago versus now. So I think Prime 1's price in their Transformers is extremely reasonable, honestly. So it definitely has the value for the detail, the size, the presence. You know, I'm a happy camper for sure. Love it. Let me know what you guys think if I should consider Blitzwing. Now, if I wanted to get Blitzwing, I don't know what to do with the Drift. I mean, I love that Drift. I don't want to sell it. It's such a cool, you know, freaking samurai Autobot. So cool. But where the frick could I move it? That's the question. I don't know where I could fit it. I feel like I'd be forced to sell it, but I don't know if I could do that. Drift is so freaking cool. Anyways, folks, that is it for today's video. Be sure to sub to the channel if you haven't already, like, and join any of my Facebook groups. Links are in the description below. I interact with you guys all the time. So, yeah. If you guys do want me to do any more live videos, live chats, let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.